What if I told you there is one habit, so simple, yet powerful enough to change the entire course of your life? No money required, no fancy degree, no genius IQ. Just one thing: walking. Sounds ordinary, doesn't it? But don't leave yet, because history has a secret. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who carried Rome on his shoulders. Nietzsche, the philosopher who walked his way into world-shaking ideas. Aristotle, Kierkegaard, even the titans of today's tech empires, all of them discovered the same truth. Walking is not just movement, it's a ritual for the mind, a doorway to clarity, to power, to peace. And today, I'm going to show you why this single habit can transform the way you see the world and the way you see yourself. If you find meaning here, join me, subscribe, and let's walk this Stoic journey together. 1. Marcus Aurelius, the footsteps of an emperor. Marcus Aurelius did not live an easy life. He was not the quiet philosopher we imagine, sitting in peace with a pen. He was an emperor forced to lead armies into brutal wars, to face a deadly plague that swept across the empire, to endure betrayal and political chaos on every side. The weight of Rome itself pressed down on his shoulders every single day. And yet, where did he seek refuge? Not in palaces of marble, not in feasts or wine, not in the empty distractions of power. He found his sanctuary in walking. In the pages of Meditations, you can almost feel it, his thoughts breathing in rhythm with his steps, as he wandered the streets of Rome, as he strolled through Greek gardens, as he walked beneath the open sky. Each step was not just movement, it was release. It was his way of stepping outside the storm of responsibility and back into stillness. Every walk became an anchor, a reminder that even when the empire shook, he could return to himself. And this is where the story turns, because if a man who ruled the most powerful nation on earth could find strength in something as simple as walking, what does that mean for us? What secret is hidden in a step so powerful that even an emperor relied on it to survive? 2. Walking, the cure for an anxious mind. Anxious, restless, lost in a decision that feels too heavy to carry. There is one prescription that has been whispered across centuries: take a walk. The ancients had a phrase for it: solvitur ambulando. It is solved by walking. Your child is troubled, walk with them. Your relationship is strained, walk together. Your mind won't stop racing, step outside and let your feet do the work. Seneca once wrote that the mind must be given over to long wandering walks, or else it will shatter, like a hammer that strikes too long against the anvil. The Stoics understood something profound: movement heals. And it is not just the philosophers of old. Steve Jobs built some of Apple's greatest ideas while holding walking meetings. He knew that walls confine the mind, but open roads expand it. Think of it. How many times have you sat in front of a screen, staring, frustrated, waiting for clarity that never comes? Then you step outside, the air shifts, your breathing slows, and suddenly the solution appears. Walking is more than exercise, it is medicine for the soul. It lowers the noise, it resets the rhythm of your thoughts, it gives your heart space to breathe. And here's the truth: you may not solve every problem by walking, but there are almost no problems that walking won't make better. So the question is, why do we resist something so simple when even the greatest minds in history trusted it with their peace? 3. The science behind the steps. Why does walking feel so powerful, so strangely healing? The answer is not only philosophical, it is biological. When you walk, your body enters a rhythm. The neurons that control your movement begin to fire in patterns. And those patterns act like a filter, quieting the mental noise, softening distractions, allowing your mind to focus. Think about it: when you sit still, trapped in a chair, your thoughts collide, scatter, and multiply. But when you move step by step, your brain aligns with the rhythm of your body. It's like turning chaos into order. This is why Nietzsche once said, "All truly great thoughts are conceived while walking." And Kierkegaard confessed that every single day he walked himself out of sickness and into health. Even modern science agrees. Studies show walking boosts creativity by up to 60%. That's not motivation, it's chemistry. It's your brain unlocking itself. And notice who lives this truth today. Mark Zuckerberg holds long walks with his team. Jack Dorsey walks miles every morning to set his mind. Billionaires, thinkers, creators, they all return to the same ancient habit. Because walking is not just movement, it's mental engineering. Each step is a reset button for the human brain. So here's the challenge: if walking can calm the storms of an emperor, inspire the thoughts of philosophers, and sharpen the minds of innovators, why wouldn't it change the way you think? 4. Walking as a ritual of healing. Life can break you in 1,000 small ways. An argument that leaves you trembling, a decision that feels impossible, a day where anxiety swallows every breath. In those moments, what can you do? You walk. Not as escape, but as ritual. Step outside, leave the four walls behind, let the world itself hold you. The Buddhists knew this long ago. They practiced walking meditations, treating each step as a prayer. The Stoics knew it too. Epictetus taught that freedom begins with choosing how you respond. Walking gives you that choice. It interrupts the spiral. It turns the noise into silence. Picture this: a man devastated by loss, too broken to sit in meditation, too restless to sleep. So he walks. At first, the pain follows him with every step, but after a mile, the rhythm shifts. His breath deepens, his shoulders unclench. By the end, he is not healed, but he is no longer drowning. Even today, leaders and creators trust this ritual. Oprah Winfrey calls walking her moving meditation. When stress threatened to consume her, she walked daily trails until clarity returned. This is the quiet magic. Walking does not erase the storm. It teaches you how to carry it. So the next time your chest is tight, your mind racing, remember, you don't need the perfect answer. You need only to move your feet and let healing begin one step at a time. 5. Small acts, great character. Walking is not only about your mind, it is about the kind of person you become. Marcus Aurelius once warned, "You can commit injustice by doing nothing." Those words cut deep. Because every day we walk past small wrongs, trash on the ground, a stranger in need, a problem we could ease, and too often we choose silence. One man decided to change that. He began picking up litter on his daily walks. At first, just a bottle here, a wrapper there. Soon, he filled bags, then dumpsters. Did it save the planet? No, but it saved his character. Each step said, "I will leave the world better than I found it." This is not theory, it is history. David Sedaris, the writer, became famous not only for his books, but for walking miles every day and collecting trash. The Queen of England honored him for it. Not because he cleaned the world, but because he embodied responsibility. Seneca reminded us that true nobility is not in birth, but in action. A palace does not make a man great, his choices do, and greatness often hides in the smallest of acts. So the question is, when you walk, do you pass by what is broken, or do you choose to bend down, to lift, to repair? Because every piece of trash you pick up, every small kindness you practice, is not just about the world outside, it is about the soul you are building inside. 6. The footsteps of creativity. History's greatest breakthroughs rarely came from desks or thrones, they came while walking. Archimedes did not discover his principle chained to a table, he found it in a bath when his mind was free. Newton was not chasing equations indoors, he was under a tree when a simple falling apple revealed gravity. The lesson is clear, the mind creates best when it is unchained. Aristotle knew this. His school in Athens was called the Peripatetic School, literally, the walking school. He and his students discussed philosophy while strolling shaded paths. They believed wisdom flowed with movement. And centuries later, Nietzsche echoed it. Only ideas gained by walking have any worth. He walked for hours, carving his thoughts into the rhythm of his steps. Kierkegaard did the same, writing that he walked himself into well-being. But this is not just ancient wisdom. Steve Jobs, as we said, designed Apple's future in walking meetings. Jack Dorsey, founder of Twitter, took daily long walks to think. Even Einstein paced endlessly when wrestling with his theories. Why? Because walking does not demand brilliance, it invites it. The body moves, the mind loosens, and in that looseness, ideas are born. So imagine what answers might be waiting for you, not in front of another glowing screen, but out there, on a quiet road, under the open sky, step after step. Clarity is not always found by thinking harder. Sometimes it is found by moving farther. 7. Steps as a choice of destiny. Epictetus, born a slave, later a teacher of emperors, taught one lesson above all. Freedom begins when you know what is in your control and what is not. Every walk is practice of that truth. You cannot control the weather, whether the sun burns or the rain falls. You cannot control the glances of strangers as they pass. But you can control this, the choice to rise, to step outside, to move your body forward. That simple act is destiny in miniature, because life is nothing more than a series of steps, some chosen for us, some chosen by us. Think of Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison, stripped of power, stripped of freedom. Yet every day he walked circles in a small courtyard. Step after step, he trained his spirit not to break. When the doors finally opened, he emerged unchained, not because fate was kind, but because he had chosen his response. The Stoics knew, your feet can lead you into despair, or they can carry you toward resilience. Each step is a declaration. I am not trapped by circumstance. I am guided by choice. So remember, when the world feels too heavy, you always have one decision left: to stand still or to step forward. And that single choice can change the path of your entire life. 8. Conclusion. Your challenge. I will not tell you that walking will solve every problem in your life, but I will promise you this: there is almost no problem that will ever become worse after a walk. So here is my challenge for you. Tomorrow, take 20 minutes. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your steps. Breathe with the rhythm. Let the world around you slow down. Allow your mind the space to finally rest. You may not find all the answers in one walk, but you will find yourself again. And sometimes, that is the only answer you need. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe, not for numbers, but to walk this Stoic path together, to build strength, peace, and discipline in a world that constantly tries to pull us apart. And now I want to hear from you. When was the last time you had a breakthrough idea or a moment of peace while walking? Share your story in the comments. And if you are ready to commit, drop a simple line: I walk forward. Let it be your vow to keep stepping into clarity, into courage, into your best self. Because destiny is not built in leaps, it is built one step at a time, and your next step begins now.